Welcome. Welcome to everybody who decided to join on Monday morning. We are going through a balance intensive practice today. Mondays are sometimes quite interesting coming out of the weekend, especially in the fifth, depending on where you're at the week of quarantine. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll find physical balance, and then maybe we'll move in some from Asian philosophers into it. So a lot of balance comes from grounding and centering ourselves, right? I published an interesting paper among a group of my peer scientists a couple of years ago on where in the brain the balance is actually being controlled. But speaking about the body, let's start from the very foundation, our feet. Our beautiful, amazing feet with about 20 muscles and overall over 100 different muscular structures, ligaments and tendons. So first we're going to open that up. Come onto squatting position and lower the knees towards the mat. Walk them forward slightly and have your toes tucked under. This is called breaking toe pose, and we're just gently awakening the feet. It might feel really, really intense, so ignite your breath right away. Early in the morning, early in the Monday, start deep inhale and a full exhale, and notice, let the breath come to you. Allow it to freely unravel. Notice if there is any obstruction in one of the nostrils. Maybe it's difficult to breathe through the nose. It's the allergy season. So see if you need to open your mouth and enable yourself deep breath. But as you sit here for a few more breaths, start feeling the sensation of stretching in the soles of the feet. And allow deep breaths to get you or your brain the sense of normalcy. The understanding that no, your feet are not falling apart. They're still fine. It's the sensations, it's the signals from those muscle spindles, from the Golgi tendon organs to the brain that informs the brain, hey, we've never done this before. This is weird. This is sensational. All right, another breath here. And an exhale. And then we come out. Come onto your all fours. And tap your feet on the ground. Beautiful. Come to standing, please. Next one, we're going to just try with our weight. Close your eyes and then just stand like you may be standing in a grocery store. Maybe it's feet a little wider apart, one leg bent, another leg bent. Just notice the natural sway of your body as you have your eyes closed and no information is coming in through the visual sensation, or a sense of vision, I should rather say. Waking up early is an interesting thing lately. And then if you're able to, with the eyes closed, if you feel it's way too risky, of course, open them. Step your feet together. If it is possible at all, you may be the one wanting to keep your feet about 6 inches apart, a hip-width distance, to feel a little more stable. Because feet together, for some of us, is absolutely no way. And spread your toes wide. Plug the Big toe mound firmly into the floor, into the mat, or wherever your practice, into the carpet. Carpet is actually much more challenging for balance because it's soft. And then lift all 10 toes off the ground. Feel the engagement in the calves and the ankles, and then from there into inner thighs, shooting as you try to elevate the edge of your feet, the edges of your feet, both of them, off the mat as you plug the instep, the big toe mound into the ground. And then release all 10 toes, fanned out onto the mat, creating a little bit more surface for your feet to occupy. Just a little more space so they hold on to the earth a little tighter. And then shift the weight into the right foot. Lift your left leg to a 90-degree angle. Notice the muscular engagement in the right leg. Maybe shift the weight forward into the ball of your foot and then back into the heel. For the challengers, if this is way too easy, and we're going to switch the legs now, grab a block or a book and do this pose, or this series of poses, I should rather say, on a book or a block. The brain is not used to being half a foot away from the floor in something like this, especially if we've been practicing yoga for a while. We do this quite often, right? And it'll be a nice little challenge. So from here, let's start moving a little bit, and we'll warm up with a few sun salutations. A very common way to get the heat going in the body. And if you have any questions throughout, because it is quite fast, and since we have very limited time together today, we are going through them with the breath. If you need a breakdown, please visit yogalab.online, where I created labs to break some of those poses, especially challenging one, down so that you know the physiology and the alignment of those poses so you do them injury-free. All right, come to the top of your mat, spread the toes nice and wide. Take a couple of good breaths. Celebrating your life this morning. It's going to be a beautiful Monday, even if some issues arise during the day. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead, and if you're familiar with sun salutation, keep your eyes closed and just go through the motions, really dialing your attention inwards. With exhale, fold forward, straight back takes you down. Quite tight in the morning, both hamstrings and the back, so bend your knees. The first one will be somewhat relaxed, taking a few breaths in each step of the way so we can really inhabit this movement early in the morning. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, clench your hands and step your feet back, plank position. Couple of breaths here. Really start to feel the body warmer, warming up from the core, warming up the legs here. Heels are stacked over your toes, shoulders are right above the wrists. Take an inhale breath, and with exhale, high to low, halfway push up so that the triceps become in line with your back. Untuck your toes. Inhale into upward facing dog. Look back and see that your heels are straight up. It's really yummy here to look over your right shoulder towards your left heel, and then over your left shoulder towards your right heel. Push the floor away from you with your hands. Reach the crown of the head up and engage your legs so your thighs are off the ground. Take a breath. And with exhale, lift your hips high for your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a full exhale, let it go. In down dog, maybe you find stillness right away, especially if you're a mover. Challenge yourself. Maybe this is something that will bring you a completely new vision of the practice, vision of the down dog if you don't move around the first one. One of my teachers advised that a while ago, and I sometimes challenge myself to do that because I am a mover. Another breath in here. Another exhale here. And then look forward and tiptoe all the way to the front of your mat, as slow as you can, as fast as you need to. Inhale halfway. Exhale, bow. Rise up to standing. Next breath in, stretch. And with exhale, take your hands to the heart center. We're going to move with the breath now. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. 3 more rounds like this. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, or jump back already if you're ready and warmed up for that. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a breath here. And then exhale, look forward, travel to the top. Walk or hop, halfway, inhale. Fold back on the exhale. Rise up to standing, next breath in. Exhale, hands come to heart, as if you're arriving home. Inhale. Exhale. Halfway inhale. Plant your hands. Another leg starts stepping back. Chaturanga. Inhale as you back bend. Exhale as you take it into your down dog. One breath here. One exhale, look forward, travel to the top. Halfway lift. Fold back in, rise up. Hands to heart. 2 more rounds like this with the breath. Walk or jump. Halfway lift. Fold back. Rise up. Hands to heart. Final round. As you go through the movement, really pay attention to your breath without forcing it into any kind of shape or length. Let it inform you about your state of being, physical, emotional, mental. And then modify your practice according to how your breath sounds. One more breath in here. Exhale completely, look forward, travel to the top. Halfway. Bow back. On your next inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, take your hands to the heart. On your next inhale, sit low, rich high chair pose. And then from here, take the hands to the heart and lift your heels off the ground. Stack them high above the toes. Let yourself to fall out of this a couple of times if you'd like. Lots of balance in here. Breathe into it. Reach your arms overhead. Heels are still up. Pull the core in. Sink a little low. Lift the heels and take your ankles towards one another in here. One more breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Release the heels from the ground. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, left leg steps back. Knee comes to the ground. Inhale, reach your arms up. Couple of breaths in this position to open the hips. Keep the hips low. There is a tendency when we take the arms up to lift the hips high. So let them be low. This is kind of a yin pose. See if you can relax. Enabling the hips to open up. Take your hands down to the ground. Straighten your back leg. Pull the core in. Inhale. And with exhale, step your right foot back, plank pose. Down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your right leg high up to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Bend at the knee, stack your hip over your left one. Maybe circle your ankle. And then step your leg through in between your hands. Back leg is straight. Sack the core in. Inhale, high crescent. Breathe into it. Full breaths. Good exhales. Take another inhale. Another exhale. And then take your hands to the heart center. Lean your upper body forward so your stomach hovers over your front thigh. And then from here, if it helps, reach your arms forward. If you feel you're going to be more balanced like this, take your hands to the heart center. We're going to take it into warrior three. Breathe. Bring your back leg parallel to the ground behind you. Pull the core in. Reach your arms forward and hopefully no trees on your way. Now we're going to tilt the torso up without touching the ground with your left foot. Bend your left knee towards your body. Hug your thigh towards your chest. Take another breath. Another exhale. And then take your left ankle onto the top or the bottom, depending on where you look at, of the right quad and sit down for figure four. This one is still the first one. I promise we'll do more of them. So let your body open up. Bend your knee to the point where you do feel the nice stretching sensation in the outer left thigh. Another breath. Another exhale. One more inhale. With exhale, start straightening your right leg. Send your left leg back. Airplane, arms go back. Pull the core in. Breathe in. And with exhale, bend your right knee. Step your left leg all the way back into that crescent. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Lunge low into the right leg. Gaze past your right fingertips. Keep the breath moving. Take your front thigh, bring it parallel to the ground. And then make sure that your back foot is pivoted out so you can actually press the outer edge of the back foot firmly into the ground. The back leg is doing just as much work as the front one. Breathe into it. And if you feel that the shoulders are becoming tired and fatigued, flip your palms up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then maybe flip them back down, keeping the shoulders as relaxed as if your palms are still up. Flip your right palm up. Reverse the warrior. Deep breath. Exhale, lunge low into your right leg and go a little bit further back with your right hand, opening the right side. Exhale, move hands down to the mat. Pull the core in, step your back foot a little closer to the front and lengthen over your right thigh, straightening your right knee as much as it would go towards straight. There are always a couple of blocks or books underneath your hands as a possibility to make the pose more accessible. To release, rebend your front knee. Step your hands firmly into the mat. Step your right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're almost prepared for your Monday. Deep breath in. Full exhale, look for a travel to the top. Halfway lift. Fold back in. I definitely am more prepared for my Monday right now. Chair pose next. The allergies have been really severe this year. Maybe it's because we just moved once again from the Midwest into the South. Breathe. Lift your heels a little bit higher this time around. And then bring your ankles together as you lift the heels all the way above your toes and gaze at one spot in front of you to keep the balance going. One more breath here. One more exhale. And then release. Inhale, spill up. Exhale, fold back. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back. This time, take your knee to the ground. And inhale, reach your arms up. Keep the breath moving. Relax the shoulders away from the ears so you can really soften in the pose. With each inhale, feel glowing brighter on the inside. The oxygen gets in. And on the exhale, feel a little softer as if you loosely start to drape all around your body, especially relax your face. Release your hands down to the mat. Straighten your back leg. Step your left foot back. If you'd like a vinyasa, go ahead through it. Otherwise, take your hips up. Straight into your downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high up to the skies. And then bend at the knee. Stack your left hip above your right. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Step your foot between your hands. Bring your back heel above your back toes. Stack your front knee over your ankle. Inhale, high crescent. Keep the breath moving deep into the lungs. With each inhale, feel your rib cage to really widen to the side. And with each exhale, let all the breath come out until the very last drop leaves. So you prepare your lungs for the new fresh air. Hands either at the heart center or you keep them up. Reach your torso forward, hinging at your hips. Lots of power comes through the core and the back leg. And then step it forward, warrior three. Hands maybe at the heart center. Or reach them forward for a little extra challenge. Take the back leg and rotate it inwards through the thigh so the hip comes at level with the left one. Breathe. And then, without touching the floor with the right foot, come up standing. Hug the right knee towards your chest. Keep the breath moving. Hi guys. The reason I look in the corner all the time is that's where I blow up my Facebook and see you guys joining. Welcome. Breathe. Figure four. Right ankle, left quadricep. And then you sit down like in the chair. So much so you feel the outer right thigh. And in order to protect our right knee, flex your right foot all the way towards the shin. So there's a 90-degree angle. One leg may be much more permissive than the other. Breathe. Finding balance physically, as if embodying your mind to find a balance emotionally. Another breath in, another exhale. We're gonna unwind into airplane, send your right leg back, and then extend your arms like airplane wings. Once again, rotate the right inner thigh up to the ceiling so you can really feel the hips level and the engagement in the flying leg. Rebend your left knee, step your right foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Sorry, I'm gonna turn my back on you. Exhale, warrior two. Align the front heel with the back arch. Lunge low into your front leg. Bring the left thigh parallel to the ground. And then breathe to find more ease within. Flip your palms up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. I often feel like in yoga we enable ourselves, creating this manageable stress so that our mind, our psyche knows, hey, you can do it, you went through it, you were able to breathe through it, even though it seemed scary and impossible and hard. I got it, I can do it. Flip your left palm up, reverse the warrior. One more breath in as you lunge a little lower and reach a little further. And then with exhale, no hands down to the mat. Come hand to the ball of your back foot. Step the foot a little closer if you need to. And then lengthen the back of the left thigh. Delicious stretch with the left hamstrings. Breathe into it. And then release. We're going to do something interesting here. Walk the right foot back to the back of the mat. Plunge your right hand firmly into the ground. And then reach your left arm up for a twist. Keep the breath moving. Deep and free. And now see if you can get a hold of your left big toe with your peace sign, finger and thumb. And then maybe take it to one-legged Vashisthasana. If this is way too crazy, just step the left foot back and take a one-arm plank. Side plank. Breathe. Reach your upper arm over your head. Gaze up if it doesn't hurt your neck. If you're still holding onto your toes, keep the breath moving. And then take your left foot behind you. Open the hips up to the sky. Breathe. Wild thing. To release, bring both hands to the mat. And then lower onto your forearms. Full forearm plank. Pull the core in. Walk the feet to the elbows for dolphin. Just for a moment here, really opening up through the upper shoulders. Gaze between your two ankles so the back of the neck is long and spacious. One more inhale. And with exhale, as if you're trying to take a drink of water out of the lake in front of you. Inhale, shoot the hips back up. Exhale, go for it. Inhale, send it back. Last one. And send it back. Release the knees to the ground. Untuck your toes, stretch your arms back. A child's pose for just a breath. And while you're in child's pose, take deep breaths. Long, spacious inhales. Full, complete exhales. Really enjoying your strong practice this morning. Understanding that your breath will carry you through anything. Balancing poses in yoga. Conversations with your colleagues that you don't want to be involved with. Craziness as you're trying to get into that conference call and the internet is dropping while the kids are running wild. Just breathe. Finding balance. Life is always unpredictable, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. Your breath carries you through all the time. As you come out of child's pose, come back into plank. And then bring your left foot hand onto the ground. Vashisthasana side plank. Reach your right arm over the crown of the head. If you'd like more intensity, take your right big toe with your right fingers and lift your leg. If you'd like less intensity, you can always release your bottom knee to the ground and take a nice side plank this way. Breathe in. And then take your right foot behind you. Open the hips to the ceiling. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Draw the upper arm further onto your back. Take a breath. And release. Unwind. Find your downward facing dog. Full breath in. And then side out on your exhale. One more like this. Inhale, full lungs. And exhale, release. Look for travel to the top. Walk or jump. Halfway lift. Bow back. Inhale, sit low, reach high into chair pose. And right away here, we're going to take our figure four. Take your left ankle on top of the right quad. And then take your hands to the heart. Maybe reach them towards the ground. Maybe hook the left toes around your right tricep and start shifting the weight forward. We just prepared our shoulders for this movement and the hips are prepared. Let me make sure my mic is not in this business because that would not be good for talking. And then maybe you take those right toes off the ground. If you'd like a full expression of flying pigeon, please go ahead into it. I'm personally not quite ready for that just yet in the morning. So this moves here when you take your right heel to the glute are really powerfully getting into your core and into your hips. Hip flexors are thriving here. Inhale, release. Come back up, figure four. Exhale, shoot that left leg back. Airplane pose. Breathe in. Full exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up for half moon. There could be a block underneath your right hand here. Open up the hips to the wall that is in front of you right now. Imagine that you're pressing your back against an imaginary wall behind you. Take a breath. And then exhale. Come back into airplane here without touching anything to the ground. Shaky and wobbly is fine. And then here, take your left hand to the ground. Woo! Yay! To not touching everything to the ground. These are called your glute muscles. And apparently this morning, they're not quite there yet for me. Breathe, reverse half moon. Full exhale. One more breath. And exhale here. And then come back to the airplane. And with exhale, step that left leg all the way back. Take both hands on the inside of your right foot. Bring your back knee to the ground. And relax onto your lizard. Onto or into, depending on how you treat the poses in yoga and their names. I must say that every day is different, right? Some days you're a rock star of everything, including the balance poses. And some days are just not there. Sometimes there's allergies and crazy Mondays and all the other stuff that is happening in life. Right leg is forward, left leg is back. I'll make sure that I'm not completely with my back to you. Come out of lizard. Next one is Skandasana. Press your right elbow into your right inner thigh. Straighten your left leg. Flex your left toes towards your face. And then maybe take your hands to the heart center. Breathe. One more inhale here. And with exhale, hands may be walking on the floor, maybe at your heart. Skandasana all the way to the other side. Take a position here. Breathe. Use the resistance between your left arm and your left thigh to get you a little deeper into the hip opener. One more breath here. Exhale, Skandasana to the right. Inhale just once. All the way back to the left. Couple more. And we end up on the left side. Pivot to face the other side of your mat for you, the same side of the mat for me. And then here, step your right foot to reach your left. Inhale, sit low, reach high into chair. And then take a balance again in the shape and form of figure four. And this time we take our right ankle to the left thigh. Breathe. If available, hands come to the floor or to the blocks. Shift the weight forward. Hook your right toes over the left tricep. And then bend the elbows back as if you're doing chaturanga. And then maybe lift those toes off the ground. Touch your butt with your left heel. Come back. Same thing again. Lots of hip flexors action. Lots of beautiful hip opener through the outer thigh. Preparing our glute muscles for what's coming, right? And then release. Come up into standard figure four. And now reach that right leg back. Airplane pose. Reach your arms like airplane wings. One more breath. And with exhale, take your left hand to the floor. Reach your right arm up for half moon. This is a good side. Everybody has one. The good side and the tight side. Breathe. Balancing not just physical balance, but also balancing out the tight and the good side in yoga, with yoga. One more breath. And an exhale. And then without touching the floor, back into airplane. Fire up all those left glute muscles. In here, right hand down, left arm reaches up. Reverse half moon. The back leg is engaged as can be. The stronger your flying leg, the easier this balance will become. Breathe. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then we release into airplane. And then fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold back in. Plant your hands and land your shins on the ground. We're gonna get back into broken toe pose because by now, most likely, your feet are burning from all the balance that we did. So we're gonna release them. Tuck your toes under, all 10 of them, including the pinkies, and then walk the knees towards the forefront of your mat, wherever it may be. Maybe use your hands to massage those beautiful feet of yours that carry you around all day long. Deep, powerful breathing. One more inhale. Another exhale. It's hard to smile in this pose. It's even harder to talk. because flip-flops are my favorite type of shoes. Tap your feet on the ground and then come to sit. We have just a little more time together, so let's get into hip openers here. Extend your legs to the front, move the fleshy parts from underneath your butt away. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Once you feel that the lengthening has stopped for you, allow your back to round and completely soften onto your thighs. A lot of times what helps, especially if the hamstrings in the lower back are very strong and don't want to open that way, sit on a block. This will enable your pelvis to create that angle, and you will fold forward much easier without excuse me, compromising your lower back. Another thing I really love doing is I love placing a block between my shins, and especially this early in the morning when the back is tighter. This is a beautiful place to be with the forehead on the block, just allowing the back of the legs, the back of the back to open up. This one is called intense west side stretch. And west side meaning the whole back body from the tip of your head to the tip of your heels. The reason being that yoga was practiced facing east. And the stretch to the west side of the body was obviously something that was facing west, which was our back. Keep your breath moving. Start to unwind. One more inhale here. One more exhale here. And slowly come back. Remove the block from underneath you. The beauty, especially if you take this class in the recorded version of it, is going to be that you can always pause and do the poses for as long as you need to. From here, lay down on your mat. And I'm just a little hesitant to do that, but I can remove the mic away. And can lay down. Yay! Victory. So lay on your back. Bend your knees towards your chest and give yourself a good hug. You can get a hold of your shins or maybe reach for the elbows. In here, reach your lower back onto the ground as you hug the thighs towards your chest. Really allow your lower back to release and massage the hip flexors. They did so much work for us today. This whole recording business is very new to me, so apologies if the sound was off or my face was just blocked by the blocks. No pun intended. Happy baby. Get a hold of the outsides of your feet. Rock from side to side. Little movements here to enable the body to obtain the best position for the pose. Always being aware that it's not about how the pose looks, how you saw it in some yoga journal or somewhere else on Insta. It all is about how and where you feel. Make sure there's no pain. And you really feel nice opening, really sensational openings through the hips, through the lower back right now. Another breath. Another exhale. Release your feet and extend your legs for Shavasana. We have about 2 minutes here. So as I leave you in your shavasana for as long as you able to today, please remember that you are enough, that life sometimes is really, really intense, but your breath can always carry you through whatever intensity the universe is throwing upon you. God never gives us something that we cannot handle. Know that as on your mat you can plow through those. Sometimes your mind is like, what? I'm not doing that. And then you do it, and then you breathe through it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I got it. Take this knowledge, take this awareness, take this assurance of yourself off your mat into your day, into your week, into your life. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. I love you.